Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a T-stop. What is a T-stop? Well, a T-stop, it's what I've just done. Making a T with your feet and using that as a way to stop.
It has the power.
Before I even go ahead and start explaining you how you can make a T-stop, let me just tell you that this video is sponsored by Skillshare. And if you don't know what Skillshare is, well, Skillshare is the online learning platform where you can basically learn everything. Lately, because I'm trying to change the intro of my videos and I usually have an animation, I'm actually looking into animation. So I found this how to animate frame by frame by a guy that actually skates. He actually made the logo of this shirt and his name is Chris Piasek. But why don't you go on Skillshare, use the link on the top of the description of this video and you will have access to a Skillshare premium membership for 30 days. The first 1,000 people to click on the link will have access to that, so don't lose this one. And once again, thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now let's go ahead and let me teach you how to T-stop. So a T-stop is one of those ways of braking that I don't like. I don't think it looks good. It burns too much of my wheels, but I know how important it is and it's really one of those skills that you need to have if you're going to be skating. I'm going to give you an example. A couple of months ago, I was in South Africa. We were going down a steep hill. I don't know how the floor is going to be if I'm going to go at full speed. Even if I know how to do a parallel slide, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But a T-stop, well, a T-stop I know I can make it and I know it will help me to reduce speed. Now, is the T-stop the most efficient way to brake? Not really, but it will help you a lot. Now, let's really go ahead and explain you how to make a T-stop. One of the first things is for you to be able to do a T-stop, you need to be able to stand on one foot. This is very important and I will explain you why. And the reason for that is because on a T-stop, one of your feet is actually rolling, and especially when you're starting, you need to put the most weight on that foot. There's a couple of progressions that you can do. Usually the one that I always tell everyone to try when they're trying to learn how to do a T-stop is they need to know how to make a T, where the back foot is going to be the one that brakes, the one in front is going to be the rolling foot. Now from here we can actually do a progression which is breaking down the T-stop. Check this out. I got the weight on both my feet, making a T. I'm going to put all my weight on the back foot and I'm going to roll the front one. Now I'm going to shift the weight completely, or at least like 90% to the front one. And now check this out. This is not easy when you're starting. Most of the times when people try to do this, the feet are too stuck to the floor and people go here and there. So this is what you really need to learn. It seems very basic and it is very basic, but until you understand what you really need to do, it's going to be a bit tricky. So once again, weight on both feet. Now, bringing to the back foot, roll the front foot, shift all the way to the front foot. And now with most of the weight on the front foot, you are going to use the back foot just like if it was a rubber. Again, easy but tricky at first. And the reason why this is so important is because this is actually what you are going to do as a T-stop. Now there's a couple of progressions for you to be able to do these at speed. So you could actually do these a bit longer, or you can actually just do a couple more small ones. All you need to know is how to distribute your weight in order to feel all the wheels sliding, the wheels from the back foot. Important, you do not see me sliding with the foot straight. As you can see, the back foot is sliding on the inside edge. So check this out. The inside of my foot is the part that slides. This is very important. You should know by now that your skates usually slide when they go on the edges. They grip when you go in the center. So don't try to slide with your foot straight. Try to slide with your foot lean on the inside edge. This is going to help you too. Now, next progression. Let's do it in speed. First thing that you're going to need to be able to do is obviously to roll with one foot. By now this should be easy for you. Come on. You've been watching all the other tutorials. You know how to roll in one foot. There's nothing about this that it's new for you guys. If it's the first time, well, open your arms, try to control it, bring your other knee up a little bit. This would be the first progression, extremely easy. Second progression, which is actually easier than the first one, and that would be, you want to roll with your feet in a line, just like this. You can still open your arms. That would be your second progression, also extremely easy. Check this out. Just like this. Use your arms to balance. The third progression, it's very similar to the previous one. But what you are going to do is you are going to shift your weight a little bit more to the front foot. You are going to raise the heel of the back foot. So check this out. I'm here, lean forward. And that's why I told you it's so important for you to be able to be on one foot. Now from here to go to the T-stop, there's only one step missing. All you need to do is, if you are here, you just need to let your heel fall. Let me show you like this. Bring my foot back, and now I let it fall. Very important. You need to keep the back foot 90 degrees to the front one. It needs to go perpendicular. Do not leave your back foot in an angle, either like this or like that. Your back foot needs to be in a 90-degree angle. A lot of times you start in a 90-degree angle, just like this, but then it comes here or it comes there. Then most of the times happens because you rotate your foot. And that's why it's so important to lean forward, to keep your weight on the front foot. You can actually just go here. From here to a T-stop, it's also very similar. All you need to understand is when you are going to let that heel fall, you are actually going to do it extremely smooth, like almost no weight on the back foot. So check this. From here, I let it fall. You see, on the inside edge, and as smooth as I can. At first, something that you can actually really try is to do the T-stop as long as you can. Really lean forward and do it as long as you can. You can open your arms. If you struggle a little bit with the balancing, once you get a bit more used, you will not need to open it. But more weight on the front foot, and that is it. Now, how are you going to make your T-stop be more efficient? Because at the moment, I'm explaining you the movement, but I'm not really explaining you how you reduce speed. In order for you to reduce speed, you're going to need to learn how to apply more and more pressure on the back foot. So what you are going to do is you're going to learn to go from here to actually go from here. You are going to apply a lot more pressure, always keeping your back foot sliding on the inside edge. So check this out. If I'm going to lean forward, it almost doesn't stop. But when I stand up, it stops right away. Why? Because I put more weight on my brake, on my back foot. And yeah, that is it. Now let me show you how this works in full speed. First, I'm going to do it leaning forward with most of the weight on my front foot. You are going to see a longer slide. And then I'm going to do the exact same, but shifting more weight more to the back. So check this out. I'm going at a little bit more speed. And now if I lean forward, I can do it for almost as long as I want. I can obviously control how much resistance I'm putting by leaning more forward. Now, when I do the exact same thing, but if I stand up, once again, I apply more pressure on the back foot, and it's a much more efficient way to stop. Check this out. That is it, and it stops. And it's not because I was going a lot slower, it's really because I put a lot more pressure on the back foot. And that is it. Maybe make sure to learn this with both feet, because otherwise you are not going to like me, because this skill, this new way of stopping for some of you, or this way of stopping that a lot of you use, will kill your wheels. So yeah, if you can only do it with one foot, make sure to rotate your wheels quite often, because otherwise you're not gonna like this. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something with this video and now know how to do a T-stop. And if you did, well, drop me a comment. I would like to read your comments of success. And also, if you weren't able to do it, also drop me a comment. Let me know what you are still struggling with, and I can try to help you in the comments. To finish this video, I just want to say once again thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And of course, if you didn't subscribe to the channel, now it's the time to do it. To finish this video, just as I always do, I'm going to remind you to never ever, like ever forget why we all started skating. And that with T-stops or without T-stops, We all started skating because it's fun now. Cheers and see you soon.